Hi there, everybody. It's a Tuesday here in Middle Tennessee, still in the heat of summer. Take a few minutes to show you some more models. Some of these, well, they've been around for a little while, but they're still wonderful. What I'm going to show you this morning is a few that I term or categorize as inspirational. In fact, on my website in the designs section, you'll see those various categories, and there is one for inspirational designs. So much of my inspiration comes from a quotation or a phrase that I see, and it just grabs me somehow, and that's oftentimes what starts the creative process. So that's what I'm going to show you this morning. Let me start with ask, seek, and knock. And a lot of you are familiar with this particular Bible verse. It's got this wonderful wood door with old-fashioned hinges and a big lock, beautiful little vine all the way around. And then the verse, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you. And there's little keys and a cross and a heart, little small motifs in the bottom part of that design worked into all those words. This is one of my favorites. It's called Ask, Seek, and Knock. And we've got a kitty cameo again this morning, don't we? This is Libby. Say hi, Libby. Okay, next I'm going to show you All Thy Works. This is probably the largest piece that I did on 40 count silk gauze. Personally, I have done one or two that are a bit larger than this, but in terms of my line, this is probably the largest. It just takes a word from an old hymn, and the words here say, "Consider all the works thy hands have made." And it's basically an Adam and Eve, but more of a creation story as opposed to the fall. And so it's not your traditional Adam and Eve sampler. But I really tried to, there's just a ton of stuff going on in here. Yes, there's the tree with the apples, and there is a serpent, but there's the mountains, the meadows, trees, all kinds of wildlife. And I've just got lots of company this morning, don't I? It's called All Thy Works. And yes, it's a big one to take on, but if you're patient and you don't mind, it's very, very doable. And of course, you can always do it on linen. Okay, so next, we'll take care of Libby again. I have one called Just Believe, and this was an instance where I just saw this phrase and wanted to do something with it. So it's called Believe. Things happen for a reason. And sometimes we need just a simple reminder to just believe that things will be okay. This one is called Just Believe. Here's another example of where I took the background on the 40 count silk gauze. Might be kind of hard to see, but in this part up here, it's very tonal, but I've added some specialty stitches to add a little texture to that space. Pretty. Okay. And the other one, just a quick video this morning that I'm going to show you, is called Consider the Lilies. And we're all familiar, or many of us are, with that verse. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, and yet I say to you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. So that's just one of those verses that for a long time I had wanted to do something, but I kept coming up with different ways to do it, so I kind of gave up on finding just a single way to do it. And this chart pack actually has 3 charts and 3 models to give you some ideas and kind of get your creative mind going about ways that you might do this. So this is the larger piece on linen, And it's just that simple verse, pretty borders. Very simple. Now, the other two models are just little guys. I have one on silk gauze, this little tiny, you can see this is fairly small. And it's just that part of the verse, consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. Brighter colors, similar borders. You see the border around the perimeter of the gauze. I do this oftentimes when I'm stitching on gauze. I will back stitch over 2 threads of the mesh around the edge. It actually creates almost a beaded effect at this scale, and I also like the way it oftentimes just encloses the design and cleans up the edge. So this is the version of in the same chart pack on the 40 count gauze. And finally, I did a sweet little pin pillow. This is, I believe, probably on 40 count linen, might be 36. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. So I took a different color. This is more golden and warm than the pinks and reds. All the way around. The wording on this is stitched over one. But I almost think this little model might be my favorite of the three. Just really like how this came together. It's pretty velveteen on the back and some chenille around the edges. So again, consider the lilies. Has 3 models. Partly because I couldn't stop at just one, but partly because I like to give you some ideas about ways that you can do some of these things. I'll try to hold these all up together. Consider the lilies. So that's just a quick little video, just to kind of tide you over to maybe the next time. I'm going to post this fairly soon. Today is July the 14th. It's a Tuesday. Next week, a week from tomorrow, my 3 new designs, 3 designs coming, will ship to my automatic retailers. And so you will see a video next week showing those three new designs for you. So I'm real excited for you to see those. Bye for now. Be well.